Nope, I see. Oh. So, James, you can hear me now, correct? That's just one of my ugly faces. Hey, once you know you're ugly, you just let it go. Man, I know some people are so ugly they're cute. I kind of say that because it's got to go for me. So I don't know what I did. I was touching buttons left, right, and everything else. I was checking all my meters. Actually, no, I do know what I was doing, but I think it just had to be reset. And that's what I just did. I hit, all right, we'll just hit F5, reset everything, and reset it back to all the settings that I had that just didn't get put in. So now it works. Yay. Hey, Lon, how you doing? Yay, I fixed it. I don't know exactly how or which button I did. I just fiddled around with everything, and it was supposed to be working. The meters were working on this side. Just what I think what it was is just I had to reset it, and once I reset the whole page again, everything was. Now shut up. There you go. Well, according to this, I got 2 bars. There she is. Hey, Sarah. I thought I had you as. Hold on. Put user time. There you go. Not put user in timeout. There you go. Give you a wrench. What does this do? Do I have this set to edit words out? Oh man. Relax, Sarah. You don't even have to do anything. I like trolls coming in. I am the anti-troll troll. Cool. It just makes you look good. Nice and blue and everybody else. So, who wants to know what about Bullet? Ask away. I'll probably never use my wrench either. However, if somebody comes in, I don't know if these settings are set for anti-spam, so somebody just doesn't come in. I don't know if I got a slow or what. Yeah, again, the trolls I really don't mind so much. It's the ones that come in here for nefarious reasons. Uh, People who like setting raids, or somebody that likes to call ahead and let people know what you're doing ahead and say, "Oh yeah, he's known to be a troublemaker." Da 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 da. So yeah, trolls are really nothing. Like James says, if they come to my house, they got a problem. Hey, News Now Canuck, how you doing? You see me without the mask? You can hear me now. What it was, Fresh set is I think I set the settings right, and I was hearing myself on my meter in the computer, but it wasn't coming out the YouTube meter until I refreshed the page. And then when I refreshed the page, the sound stuff worked. I did it earlier on the phone by accident. It says, "Ah, crap, it's counting down as well." And I know that Cybertron accidentally tried getting it going, and it goofed up on him a couple times, and he got blocked. I said, "No, I don't plan on doing that. Having it blocked. I want it working when I need it." You know. I guess this would be sort of a Q&A. Ask Bullet. I was surprised it actually worked. I tried to. And yes, it's almost 4 a.m. here, New York. Suppose I could put some music on in the background. I got a lot of good music that I could actually play and not get a strike for playing bad, copyrighted music. I just gotta find it. I have a billion files here. Trust me, it's ridiculous. Here we go. Open with. We use Windows Media Player. I just hope it doesn't get too loud. I don't like sitting here when it's quiet. We go to the recommended settings. I'm trying to set it down low. I don't know if you guys can hear the music or not. Hey, if you look at some Mexican padillas, man, I was following them hard when every time they were going down, I was like, fighting all the numbers. I'm throwing them down there. As he says, hey, he don't care, man. If he gets in trouble, call the hell out of him. So, okay, I'm helping. Now, again, I'm not telling everybody down the road to call in and call in and call in. Don't do that. Really. Oh, I got something in my eye. Don't like the post office one. I keep calling him though, asking him. That's Dave Brown at the post office. I keep calling him. I said, "You got your poster 7 yet?" Click. I don't know why I say it so politely. Yep, I'm very respectful. And down the road, you're going to see me tell the police, it's like, hey, I'm not going to answer questions but if you want to have a debate or talk about anything, that doesn't come in the question form, hey, let's get it. I says, you'll drive away because I'll just tuck your ear off. Again, everybody does have their own different ways of handling adversity, let's say, and problems and debates. I'm not saying any of them are right or wrong. I'm just saying I was really respect Gandhi, to be truthful. Nonviolence and use common sense and logic. Sure, you're going to get people who are out there that don't have the IQ of a rock, that don't understand it, but you got to try. Can any of you hear the music that I'm playing, or is it just me? It must be just me. Just me. Cool. So I can play regular music this way. This is good. I would have to play it out loud here so you'd hear it through the microphone. I know. I probably go in the settings and have it to set to pick up both, so you could hear like game sounds in that too. But I actually do that when I'm gaming. I also do a lot of gaming. I've I've been online about 4 to 5 years before there was even a World Wide Web. Well, first had to get this going first on. I couldn't even, man. All right, I used to hold a hangout online once a week or more for 5 years. All right, for another game show. That was Vega Conflict Talk Live, and I was fairly well known in that game. Really well known. Actually, everybody knows me. And that went on for about 5 years, and we used to hang out. We could have 5, 6 other people in here, and I could see them in little boxes down the bottom of my screen here. But every time somebody talked, their picture would pop up. So, I could either click it off or keep it on me and set it so it would automatically switch back and forth. But it worked really great. And we could go over on the side and you could pull over any files that you have over there, or go and screen share something off of a website, or even live stream game or something like that. And that was for about 5 years. Now they changed it all over. You can still run the Hangouts, but you have to send the link to everybody in the Hangout, and you can still run that the same way I used to, but you have to now pretty much pre-record it, and then have everybody who was on it take that recording that you made and then spread it out to their sites. So that's one way you can multi chat with a bunch of people at the same time. But again, you couldn't do that live without another type of program. And but first, I wanted to get the YouTube going. Yeah, well, that's a good thing about tech. As it goes on, it gets easier. So even if you're far behind, pretty soon in a couple days, you can say, "Hey, I want to do this." Oh, okay. Well, we could do this, but that's not working for me. And what was your password for this? Or your eye probably patterned by that time. Just here, let me see your eye. All right, we'll open that up for you. So, the longer you live, the easier things will get. Yep. Yep, that's way back when I was learning stuff. I wrote programs. Well, the earliest programs we wrote were games like Tic Tac Toe, uh, super simple programs. But they started working up, and started making one like Star Trek. What it was quadrants. You figure a tic tac toe board. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and you would say, okay, I want to warp to B2, right? And in what direction, you would have to pick a chart of 360-degree point, say a degree, da 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 da, and then do it all math, then type it in, run. Next thing you know, you see this green and white striped paper going through the printer, going, and you get about 3, 4 reams come out, and you see this thing changed. Okay, yeah, now your dot has changed from here to over here. Now what do you want to do? Oh, I want to scan the sector. How many stars is here? Get another ream with tic tac toes. Oh, you got 2 stars around you, and your ship's still here. And but again, you had to write the programs to learn to write other programs, and this program wouldn't work till you got that program wrote for it. And oh god, it went from DOS to HTML to C++ to forget about it. By that time, I was working. Yeah, I was still with the computers, having fun, not as a job. And I was running my own business, having fun, meeting people, painting their houses. That was I did that for 30 years. 72, Lod? No shit. Uh, I graduated 76 and started Xerox in 77. In 81, there was a big layoff, and it took me 2 years working through temporary companies just to get into Xerox. Oh, remember the little teeny tiny? It looks like the tickets that you would get at a carnival, but they have little holes in them. You have to feed them through. Well, first it would come through. You put the data in, and it'd come out as a whole, and that was your copy. And if you wanted to reprint it, you put that copy back in the machine, and it would reprint the whole thing up again. Yeah, I actually went to Woodstock. I was 11. I ran away from home and went to Woodstock. I met up with my stepsister, and just there we go. I'll tell you one thing about Woodstock. We were hungry. No way. I wasn't. I was only 11, so I wasn't drinking and I wasn't getting stoned. I was just sitting back watching everybody. Wow. Wow. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. No. Wow. It was great. But I'm sitting there and I'm sitting there. Okay, where's the food going to be? What do you mean? There's no food. We're going to be here how long? Oh, man. No, this is not good. It's not good. I was wandering off looking for orchards because I was a country boy. I was told there was orchards a few miles away. I started heading off that way. It's like, then somebody came by with granola seeds. That'll work. So, what does anybody want to know about the bullet? Black Label, very well informed. He's on top of everything. Um, Again, there's so much information out there on every single topic that he's covering. It's hard to be on every top of everything, but he tries. And if you look at my credits for my videos, you'll see the whole list of auditors. I cannot fit any more. YouTube will not let me fit any more in there. And didn't count exactly, but I'd say I'm close to having 50 there, and they're all. I click the bell, so every time I see somebody go live, I can't now because I'm full screen, but I'm there pretty much as fast as I can because I know they're out there like, man, I was scared that I had no back at all, and I was going dry. Basically, I couldn't go live. Nobody knew. Nobody knew I was there. Brian King, he actually messaged me back. He says, "Hey, let me know when you're going to go live." I'm sitting there. Well, I'm going to start right about now, but I can't go live. You know, but if you got people watching you, at least you got some people witnesses for you, let alone got your back and can make some calls. I'm not saying you have to make calls and that, but if you are the type that want to call and have a good conversation with them and say, ding dongs, you're looking dumb on camera, I would rethink what you're doing there and get a hold of somebody who says to get it down the line that say, never mind, sir, we were wrong. Yeah. But next time we see you, we will treat you with respect. And that's pretty much how I hope I get treated around here. What got me into auditing? I've always been auditing. When I see anything wrong at any time, I'm there. I'm pretty much the first going, hold on there. I'll give you a good story. When I was a teenager, wasn't one of the first things I'd done. Uh, I was sitting there serving ice cream to people and collecting their money. And this place was booming, and it's sitting right next to not an expressway, but a regular state highway. And cars going at that time were doing 65 both ways. And just as I handed somebody a ice cream cone, a car exploded right there, pretty much right over the person's shoulder. What had happened is a Cadillac plowed at about 100 miles an hour into the back end of a Volare, and the rear end of the Volare just disappeared and just went up into a ball of smoke. That car spun around and sat in the middle of the road. The rear end just the Cadillac went off the road, spun off, and that. And I'm sitting there going, "Oh, they got their ice cream cone," but I reached down and grabbed the fire extinguisher, and over the counter I went. Now I'm running out there figuring, well, there's a whole bunch of people out there that's going to get there and ahead of me, but at least I'll have the fire extinguisher. I run up the car. There's 100 and 150 people all the way around the car. And we'll say this is the car. They were a good 12, 15 feet away from the car, all the way around deep, eating ice creams, hot dogs, hamburgers, and stuff, just staring, going, get away from the car. The gas tank might explode. I'm looking at this car. There is no gas tank there. That's what's burning. I'm trying to put the flame out on the side of the doors, and it won't go out. And nobody else is there around the car. Fire extinguisher goes out, and the only place that was safe was the hood of the car. So I got up on the hood and smashed the window in. And this was at the time where you could get sued for hurting people if you were trying to help them, but you hurt them accidentally. But I was smashing the window in, and long story short, I got 3 people out of that car, 2 old people and a teenage girl. Got them to the side of the road, and by the way, they did live. But the way adrenaline was going, I was like, on the window, I'm thinking I'm throwing glass in these people's face. They're going to be blind forever. They're going to sue me. Right? So I get them out of the car, and I blended into the crowd and disappeared. Once I started pulling them out, one person out of 150 people came out of the crowd to help me get them out of the car, while the rest of them were going, ah! So that's what I think about sheeple. And that's what got me into this. If I don't get in there helping people, who else is? The sheeple. And I did statistical research. I was in the Marine Corps, and I did statistical research. And the statistics and bell curves don't lie. And if me out of 100 people were the only one to stand up there, that's you got 100 people. Maybe all of them have good intentions. You don't know. I'll guarantee you 5% are going to sit there going, oh, I can't wait to see somebody burn. But let's say 95% have good intentions. Half of them are going to be scared to death, not knowing what to do. All right. They've been pampered their whole life. And the easier things get, the more people are going to get pampered. And I'm afraid to say the more sheeple there's going to be until people stop being afraid. That simple. Yes, they can. They can be skewed to fit agendas. We used to have a judge whose chief of the town police was his brother, right here. And not saying anything bad about cops or why, but 2 crimes will not be judged the same in the court's law. If I took and beat my wife, I'm going to get a very harsh sentence. If a cop beat his wife, he might get a harsh sentence. But it's not going to be as harsh as mine. And that's just fact. Why? Not my call to say why. And again, James Varner, if you always do no wrong and take no shit, then that opens the door for the trolls. Sarah, I know all about that too. I got some very close people that have PTSD. And you really can't blame them for just closing down at times. Oh, well, actually, I'm in New York, but I'm out here in the country. This is Farmville. This is where apples and cherries and potatoes and onions come from. And I do have a good motto for everybody. You can't help nobody unless you can't help yourself. So take care of yourself first before you worry about others. Now, I have learned in the past that I've very good at taking care of myself in lots of situations. Yeah, I got nervous that first time out there, but and I probably get nervous too again, but I can hold my temper. If they want to cuff me and throw me down, it's a, here you go. I'm not going to argue, fight them. I'm not even going to call him a bendejo. I hope. Unless he's a real bendejo, then he may get that word. Well, again, like I've said, cops have a very, very rough job. But they have to have thick skins. If they don't have thick skins and can get excited easily, then they could go left field real fast. And testing cops to find out which ones, and again, 40% go home and slap their dogs and kick their dogs. And the first rule of a cop is they can lie to you. They're allowed to lie. But I will debate them on camera. I'm not going to tell them they're lying, and I'm not going to sit there and tell them they're wrong. I'm going to say, oh, really? And why is that? And have them put their foot in their mouth. However, if they speak the truth, you guys will know it. Right. I'm just putting it out there, sort of like a news reporter, for you guys to see it. And again, there's very simple numbers out here to get a hold of them and redress your grievances. You know, and another secret to not feeling powerless, Francois, is don't get yourself in a situation where you have to use more power than you're willing to fight back with. Correct. And your first biggest defense is I have the right to remain silent. Well, you can't give me your ID, I'll arrest you. Oh, so if you arrest me, that means I have the right to remain silent? Oh, okay. Well, we have to tell you your name. Oh, all right, fine. What's the arrestable charge? And I will tell you my name in a second. If you're saying you're cuffing me and detaining me, what's the charge? If they got their hands on me before that point, trust me, I'm going to find a good place to softly put my phone down so everybody hears it. Franchette, let me tell you a story about somebody who was sitting at home waiting for his friend to show up to go to a carnival to win a lot of money. Now, his house was known as a coffee shop. No drinking, anything. Only the hardest thing in the house was coffee. All right. His friend showed up and he was going to bring another friend, meet them, and they were going to leave. His friend brings another friend, and when the owner of the house went to the bathroom, they did a drug deal, and then he comes out and didn't know nothing about it. And as they were going to the car, they split ways. 2 years later, they come and arrest the guy whose house it was that the drugs were sold while he was in the bathroom, knowing nothing was going on. And I hope to run into that sheriff in my runs, because he will honestly tell you on air, nope, that was not you, Bullet. You were in the bathroom. Because I had known him around town. I used to be a bouncer at a bar. I'm all of 5'4", 155 pounds. I used to be a bouncer. Ex-Marine too, but but I do have a gift of gab at calming people down. But I see he came in and out of the bars all the time and that, and he knew me from in town that I didn't go up with that stuff. I was this ditch. I didn't tell anybody, but it's like if I caught you in the bathroom smoking a joint, it's like I'm holding your underwear and helping you outside for a minute. Now go around the corner over there. How dare you not share? You know, I just didn't want the owner of that to get in trouble, but stuff like that. I was pretty cool about it. He knew I didn't go for it. And I was in the bathroom. I didn't know, and he knew there was a rule. I was famous, just like people know me in other things. The rule was my house was called the coffee shop. No, you drunks that have nowhere to go home are not following me to my freaking house. You know, call a cab or something. This is out in Padonkadonville. It was a freaking hotel. If they wanted to pass out, they could be in a freaking room. A welfare check. Oh. Yeah, French. I know about that with PTSD. They come in, they think that you're being combative because you're not listening to them. Stand up. Stand up. I can't. My legs are not working. Yeah, you're lying. Bullshit. Stand up. Uh-huh. I know all about that one, Fresh, that too. No, they were, it was, it's more like they think, oh, I don't know the number. I'm old. I forget things, but you know, sometimes, but it's like Section 9 in the Army. They want to make sure you're going to be okay. And then they treat you like you're combative. The cops don't understand. This is why I'm saying the police are trained. They're not educated. They're not schooled. And that's why I'm going to be out there because I'm going to help school them. Well, no, I won't be. Bullet will be out there, and Bullet's going to be help school. Yep. There you go. So, well, at least I got this working. It's 4 in the morning. Again, I agree with you. If you're sitting there and a cop comes in because somebody called in and says, I think maybe the cop should be calling you first. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, we got a report. Somebody says you're what they hear that in the background. Oh yeah, we got a problem. But you know, but just contact the person first. And even with PTSD, sometimes you're in panic. You can't even answer the phone. But if they come in and they see you're in one of these, you got no weapons on you or anything else. Even at that point, that it's like, okay, I have a gun on me, I got a taser on me, I got a baton on me, I got a walkie-talkie that can go halfway through her head, I got a flashlight in here that can break her leg. I really don't think I have to worry about what she's going to do to me and try to help. If all of a sudden you go, aha, surprise, and pull out a 45, you got him. But how often is that going to happen? Yes, I know, Francette. They keep telling you the whole time, stand up. You're lying. You can't stand up. I know. They're not the ones that should be the first in the welfare help. And again, PTSD for the normal person is hard to tell the difference between that and a psychosis too. But even if it was a psychosis, they still they'd still handle those wrong too. Uh, Again, this person I know, their crime was they said, no, I'm not coming to the door. I can't walk right now. Well, we'll come in. No, she said. They came in anyhow. The only problem was there was no recording going on to prove it. And we probably don't have the same thing. So they figured, we can say whatever we want just for our own safety. That's just wrong. I completely agree with you, Franchette. They again, when it comes to mental health issues, post traumatic stress disorder, even epileptic fits, they are not the ones that should be there to handle them. There should be a trained, at least somebody from the medical profession that can distinct the difference between what's going on, whether it's a psychosis breakdown, and they have different signs too. The person that's having a psychotic breakdown can walk around, crawl around, spasm around, have fits, throw things. Somebody with a post-traumatic stress, no, they're barely lucky to get able to stand or lift their arm. They're like the whole time. Very good, Franchette. And having somebody that's there with you that understands it, helping you, uh, helps a lot. The person I know has a lot of oh geez, like art groups that she's joined, and that's one of the things that de-stresses her is doing art, real fine work where she could just get right into it and soak it in, and also somebody that really understands what you're going through. So no. Firemen are not. They are trained in some things, but they are also educated. If you look at what it takes to be a fireman, it's about 3 times as hard as it takes to be a cop. What somebody told me, I think it was 12, 15 weeks for most police forces. I've had testing for it was longer than that. Do not release on your property. What property, James? Oh, 6 for any pin. Oh yeah, yeah. 7 years ago, there. Don't tell me. Highway 66. That was they were doing that all the time. There was a big story about that. And you know what stopped it? Auditors. Auditors working with somebody at the time, but they're saying, okay, this is going. It was with news, with the fake news at the time, which was a little pedunculate news station that wanted to make a name for themselves. They were fairly new, so they wanted to do something big, and that was it to get their name out. But it was working with regular auditors willing to go out there going, sure, we do this all the time. Don't worry about it. I have a resuscitate on all circumstances. Keep my butt alive. But half your brain's gone. Yeah, but half's still there. I don't know what it's doing. I probably may not know when. I may actually know when there what's going on, but I don't think I'll let you know. But I'll still be there somehow. Good evening, Invictus. Yeah, Houston, we have a problem. I'm out of tobacco. I'm out of cigarettes, in other words. I got to roll me one. And I don't think I have enough butts to roll one. DNR also means did not ring. or dinner. Downer. Like I said, I will be there somewhere. I don't care what that little eye going. As if you enlarge it 1,000 times, you might see a little. That's still me doing something in there. Oh, geez, I started when I was 14 smoking. Oh, that was like that. It's maybe 6 years ago. However, I'm very active and I really don't inhale. See, I got a secret. I don't inhale the cigarettes, but not the way that Clinton says. I puff it in my mouth and then out my nose, or I'll puff it in my mouth and then back up through my nose and back out through the mouth. I just don't let it go down to the lung. If I puff it in and come out my nose, then I still get the nicotine in that. Actually, I get more right straight to the bloodstream, but it doesn't go into the lungs. Well, actually, I do have this. Now, this, for all you trolls out there, this is really incense. Yeah. Yeah. It just smells really good. Oh, and it's really great for PTSD, by the way. Um, oh, and something else. Wait, I got something else here that's even really better for PTSD. And no, it's not alcohol because I don't drink. Kiaka. All right. It's the same thing. It's oil. CDB. CDB, Francesca, if you don't like to be tired and sleepy all the time and just, from the THC type that you get, CDB is actually a little better for PTSD. Okay. That way you could handle it and still do everything normal without worrying about anxiety attacks and that. And it comes flavored. Friggin' incense your butt. Hey, it's been known as incense. Actually, I used to buy it as an incense when I was a teenager. I burned it in my car just to have cops go, it smells like pot in here. Of course it does. I got pot incense. They didn't know what the fuck to do then. So I've been in. You call it an activist. I call it a pain in the ass forever. We used to have a bag of horse fertilizer stuff. It was a green grass, and we would have that in the bag sitting on the dash. God, what's that? There was one time I had my license. I gave my license back before they took it away from me. I think I had like 30 speeding tickets that I hadn't answered for yet. Ginseng. Well, see now doing these, you know, well, they're gonna know who I am. In short order, I think they already know who I am already. See me that audit pulled everybody in, and I got out of the town before they saw what I was in or how I got there. And I even fooled them in part two by telling them that I was waiting till 6 o'clock till the bus was leaving. Then the Watts bus, you know, and that's shortly after that they all split. Amazing, you know. Walked around tired, see him anywhere. I waited a good half hour after that, still didn't see anybody. So then I went craftily to it and got the heck out of town. Yeah, I ain't got enough to roll a cigarette. Why am I even bothered? Now that was funny too. Shortly after I lost gave my license back, before they took it away, I drove for 15 years without a driver's license. I never got pulled over. Then I got my driver's license back, got pulled over 3 times. Oh God. 20 pounds for 2 ounces. Yeesh. Well, now, I don't know if any of you have heard of the uh, area code song. Look it up on YouTube sometime. But in there, they mentioned 315. That's where I'm from. And they say we grow the best. So then, if you look at the video, I had just went to the DMV, which is right next to the post office, to make sure because my license had to be renewed. Anything, so I double checked it, made sure that there wasn't any tickets I did not know about for red light tickets. It's that before I decided to go visit the post office, and so I was clear. So after I left town and got home, figured. And it's the road I took out of there after I got out of town was a long, long straightaway. And I could see if anybody was behind me, and there was nobody behind me the whole way back home, and which is about 20 miles away from there. Made it back home, pulled into my driveway, was fine. Didn't get in my car for 24 hours. Went down the road to see my sister 2 miles down the road, back roads, drove back. As I'm pulling into my driveway, all of a sudden this car comes out of nowhere. Woo! Pulls me over in my driveway. And I hadn't gotten a ticket in the last 30 years. And I mentioned that in the video too. And it gets even creepier. He said, I said, well, what'd you pull me? And I did hit it live. I couldn't get the YouTube going live at that time. So I hit live on Facebook and was recording it then. And he walked up the car and saw that camera going like that. And he's like, so what'd you pull me over for? Your license plate light is out. Ah. His head's coming in the window. And he's trying, but I only have it this far open. I would have let him in because there was nothing in my car anyhow. But I wouldn't have let him search it. Not my own driveway. And I don't drink, so I was not even worried about that. So, okay, license plate, straight the ticket. So he went and wrote the ticket out for that, came back. He left. I went back after, and I did not get out of the car until after he was left, and all's done and said. After he left, I get out of the car, look back there. My license plates are working just fine. Might be a little dim, but they work just fine. What a coincidence. They must have went out when I was pulling in and popped back on after he left. It's amazing. I should have got out and looked at it while I was there because it's a fix-it ticket here in New York. And if you have it fixed within 24 hours, they just tear the ticket away. So I had to go find another cop the next day. Went down the state troopers barracks, pulled in. Hey, how you doing? We just yaddled around. Yeah, they're working. So he checked it off. It was good. They got tore up, but they pulled me over. I had a best buddy that his name was Otter. Sold for about 20 some years out of the same place. Pretty much, he never even moved. Once a week, he would get in his truck, drive down the road, go grocery shopping, pick up a couple more pounds, drive back to his trailer, sit there for the rest of the week, and just get rid of it. And I was over there one day, and he's got it all over the counter. He's got a dartboard set up for people to hang out, play darts and stuff. And I'm just sitting there hanging out, and I see this state trooper pull in. I go, put the shit away. He said, don't worry about it. Cop comes up to the door. Hey, come on in. I'm ready to dive out a window. He comes in. He says, hey, how you doing? He goes, hey, you got an ounce for me? Yeah, no problem. Tells me to go wait out for him. What? 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 So I went and waited out for him. He leaves. Hour later, a sheriff pulls in. Uh, Sheriff, should we or just fuck it again? Yeah, fuck it again. No fucking way. It's just he knew a lot of people too, and everybody smoked it. And everybody knows people smoke it, and I'm sure a whole bunch of the police smoked it, but didn't know how to get it other than busting people with it. But they the people they busted here were like nickel dime people. They really didn't bust anybody selling around here. You know, we got some cool ones out here. I know who they are, but I can't give away who they are because I'm gonna have to pick on them the same as I pick on everybody out there. All right. I hopefully will be testing them without really testing them and being rude. But I really don't want any of them to come right up and be rude to me, period. Because then I'm going to have to fight my instinct to argue back. my first instinct is, what the fuck are you trying to tell me? I'm going to be fighting that one. You may hear me bite my tongue and say, WTF, dude, in my cool voice, where inside I'll be yelling, you dumb motherfucker. Piss me off. That's right. It is. However, like most anything, it all depends on the person who is using it. There are some people that are freaking can't handle it. They couldn't even handle a puff. They take a puff and then all of a sudden they're running outside. Go, hi, hi, ah. Other people that just laugh like crazy and don't want to stop. I mean, it's funny watching them at first, but 2 hours later, it starts wearing on it ruins your buzz. My grandma, not my dad. Oh, my dad was super not cool. my mom was super not intelligent. But my grandma, actually, she probably looks like me in drag. She was that great looking, but boy, she was cooler. Fuck. She would get high. She smoked cigarettes. And then she got me drunk at one. She did. Not on purpose. She had a Coke bottle of Anisette alcohol underneath the sink, and I found it. And by the way, who's seen the movie where they went cross country with a map to find where the government grew pot? I forgot the name of it. I'll remember it in a little bit, but that was the whole thing. This old hippie, they run across this old hippie, and the hippie gives them this map, and then he smokes a couple buds off it, and they drove across and they found that it's a true story. I know a couple guys that happened to. They got busted though. They got all the way back here, dumped off half of it, and they were going off, and with the other half, because they had dumped half of it, that they said that was their mistake. They didn't re-plastic the back end. They just dumped half, and they were only going to go like 5 miles down the road. Well, that traveling down 5 miles down the road, they passed a cop, and he just went, his nose just went, what the? So, yeah. you're gonna break it, you're gonna have a fresh smell, and you're gonna have to cover it up with something that they forgot all about. That they're pretty much stoned. Wouldn't you be if you came back with a whole U-Haul trailer full of pot, fresh buds? Oh! And the best part is, on the way back from there, they had to stop periodically because they had them in plastic bags. Well, from the heat, and it was all green weed. From the heat inside the van, the bags were ballooning up like this. And at first they didn't know it. They drove for a long ways, and they opened it up. They looked like they had giant balloons. They were expecting to just pop. So they took one out and opened it up, and it's just like they said it stunk so bad they got scared because there was other people in the park. So they quickly closed that and drove down the road to the next park that they found with nobody in it. Then they pulled the bags out, put it back in, and drove again. And they said they drove about 4 hours to check again. They were ballooning up again. So that periodically they had to debag. Oh, I know he would. He'd put it instant. The dumbest thing about drugs is, do you guys know what the worst drug is? The most mentally addictive and physically addictive drug out there? I'll let you all get some quick guesses out there. Go ahead, even Google it. Nope, not meth. True, opioids are bad for you, but there you go. Laud's got it. This is not nicotine, or this is incense. Nicotine is mentally addictive, but not so much physically addictive. And if you're wondering what this is to hold the very short incense cigarettes, and it's a bill. I've been using it since 1982. And it's very nicotined up, or incensed up. Yeah, that's it. So we use our dollar bill. Circles. I've had this dollar bill since 1982. All right. I don't know if you can really see it very well, but it's a dollar bill. It really is. You see all that black stuff on it? That's incense resin. Yeah. That's it. From 1982. This has been to Australia with me. And well, that was another fun story. How to get past drug sniffing dogs. Anybody want to know? Raise your hand. I got a great way. Worked good. It's too bad Monkey's not here to hear some of this stuff. He'd be rolling over on the floor right now. I took this to Australia. All right. And you go down and you pick up your baggage. And when you take your baggage over to a line, and the dog comes to sniff all your bags. Well, as I'm standing there waiting for my bag, I'm taking this dollar bill going over everybody's bags. So we all get in line. The dog's like, so you get that bag? So it's in that bag? So it's in that bag? I had two of them. One was older, but I accidentally spent it. Well, accidentally on purpose. It was my last dollar. I needed a cup of coffee, and I gave it to this blind guy at McDonald's for a cup of coffee. And it wasn't as bad as this. It wasn't really all this bad. It was probably about as bad as this one. All right, here's how it starts out: regular dollar bill. All right. It's rolled up in a tube. And the smokes right down to almost gone. Unless you can throw it, grind it up, or use it again if you want it. But I spent it at McDonald's. This Rastafarian came up behind me. He wanted something, and that dollar bill came back to him as change. And he gets the back. He said, Joe, man, what's this? I can take these home and smoke it. He's going around telling everybody what ganja is, and it's on this bill that he got, and it's funnier than hell. And I'm sitting there going, Lon, where are you at? I got to scroll up. I'm old. I forget. Are you in England or Aussie? England. Yep. Yeah, the regular paper doesn't work well. The only thing that comes close is if you took a matchbook and you rip the paper in half, then it's almost the consistency of this, but it doesn't last long. This has fiber in it and everything else, especially an older bill. And think about it, I'm saving money. If you would buy a roach clip for smoking small incense cigarettes, uh, that roach clip's going to cost like $2, $3 Best Buy, right? How long are you going to keep it before it's lost? Well, my roach clip or my incense clip has been around since '82, so I'm frugal. And it's made of something that works. Mine is not to know why. It's just it works. I got other things to worry about. So let's see. Wow, I've been on air for a whole hour. I used to try hard to keep my other show. If you want to know what other shows I was on, maybe I can pull the link. It's Vega Conflict Talk Live. Let's see if I can find it. I'll put it in a search here. But we died every week trying to figure out what we were going to talk about, every week. And I had to share it live with, 2, 3, sometimes 7 other people. Especially when I had to do an interview with Paul Priest. He was the owner of Kixeye. Let me open that link in a different tab. Get the. Ow! That's my ear. I deafed myself. I wonder if I have to make myself my own mod in my own room. There you go. That's one of them. There's a whole slew of them. And they all went for about an hour once a week. I was dying to figure out what to talk about. The game started out great, but then it started to become a money grab, uh, coin to win game. It, they just got greedy and greedy. Now it's like, oh, we let them go. Furry came on my stream earlier when I was on for a few minutes along with Sarah, Boomer, But if this is working, I'm pretty sure that I can set up a time and it'll be out there. I'm not sure if you got the subscriptions will let you know that I have a show coming up at a certain time and that, but it'll be scheduled for a certain time. Oh yeah. Hey Sarah, you know what else I do? I'm an actor, musician, I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I play in musicals. I love Furry. Furry's just like a daughter to me. That's why I keep telling everybody, and I said in my videos. I started watching a while ago Gavin Symes and other freedom fighters out there at first, just like Tom Zebra too. But the ones I started steadily watching was James Freeman and then Furry, and then everybody. It just started following one after the other. It's like, and I'd get mad. Oh man, you know who I got the first time I really got pissed when the shit went down? Cyber. They oh man, I was making a mess of their phone. I was like, oh dude. I says, I'm holding my temper, but I'm really pissed. So you better get somebody out there, a chief or somebody, because your officers are making fools of themselves. I says, if they do follow through and charge him, I says, it's not charged. He's not going to be guilty and everything else. I says, worst comes to worst, he's going to get out of it. And you guys are going to look stupid. And you're going to get lots of phone calls. I says, worst case is he's going to get out of it. And you guys are going to beat a lot of shit and owe a lot of money. If I were you, I would hurry up and get somebody out there and say, no, whoa. He's only filming. He's allowed on public property to film. We're sorry. Hey, you okay? We're talking. I'll go have a talk with him later. And Cyber would have said, well, yeah, I respect you, Chief, for doing that. And we'll let it go at that. Yeah, at the impound lot. Oh, I was pissed. Oh, but again, Cyber will get out of it. There's no charge there. They're trying to make a charge. And the more they try to make a charge out of it, you know, they're digging their heels in for no reason. No, if he went into the car, it would have been trespass. But there was no signage. And nobody told him he couldn't. And just walking onto a place inadvertently, not knowing for sure, is not a crime. Not a third. I could probably break out the statutes here if I had to, but I know it does read that way, sort of, kind of. But there has to be a crime committed, and the crime just walking onto it, and you knew that you couldn't walk onto it. If somebody had told you before that this is the law, that walking in here is against into this spot, not just walking into a public, just walking into this public lot is against the law, and then he did it, if no signs, then yes, he could be. But nobody or no notification or any warning at all to let him know he couldn't go in there. I mean, if I drove in there just to do a U-turn to come back because I got stuck on the road, I was like, oh, I went the wrong way and I did a U-turn. Am I just as guilty? Because the same thing, I entered the property. Yes, but it's all in the read. Again, if you break it down for the trespass, there has to be a crime for it to be a trespass also. But again, that's if they're going to go dig their heels and say this, that, and the other, no problem. I'm not going to argue. Let's just talk about this, debate it in court. And that's what the court's going to say. So we'll wait till then. And again, a lot of cops, a lot of lawyers here, a lot of lawyers are afraid to get in there because there is a lot of pressure on them from the bar that if they step out of line, they could be disbarred if you don't follow the good boys rules sometimes, most times, all the times. There are some lawyers out there that say, fuck you, and go, once they get their license, they go left. But most, like I said, with a car on fire, 100 to 1 odds of anybody going left field. So if you started, and I used to do that telemarketing for my own company, I would start with the A's and just call anybody with the last name A's in the area one at a time and just politely introduce myself and what I'm calling about. They had the choice right then and there, hang up or not. If they wanted to listen because they were bored, hey, put a beat about it. Same here. And they really can't blame him. A lawyer goes to college for 8 years to argue against a cop that had 12 weeks training and loses. How? He should know every loophole and have that cop spinning in circles. Yeah, but oh, I shot him because why did you have bullets in your gun to begin with? Were you just waiting to shoot somebody and you just couldn't wait? And so you have bullets in your gun ready? You don't think that driving a car with your gun unloaded while you're in the car is a safe idea for you and whoever's in the car or the people you may crash into from your gun flying out and just shooting somebody in the head accidentally? You don't have to have, if you're going on a bad call, then you'll have time to load your gun, but you don't have to have a load out. They could make fools of them that they really wanted to. Seriously, 8 years of college against 12 weeks training. Yeah, I've watched a lot of from Merbeasts too. Again, and Merbeast would tell you also that it's all in the reading. Some could argue this, some could argue that, but then it also falls back on another statute with reasons of trespass. So he has to be trespassed off there. Just walking onto a property that is public does not make it trespass. There's something you have to do to be violating that to be trespassed. So if you're going on there knowing that you were wrong, that is a reason to know that you were trespassing. However, for them to come get, most sheeple will say it, yes, the 100 to 1 will say, well, yeah, I knew it was trespass, but I didn't think it was going to trip you out. Done. You just admitted it. But if you walk out, well, I didn't know. I've got the right to be quiet from here on. If you're going to really charge me with it, we'll take it to court. Me and my lawyer will talk different, but I don't got to tell you. It's like getting in a fight with somebody. You don't tell them exactly what moves you're going to be doing when you're fighting them either. And I go say, I got to start with a left jab, right cross, left jab, uppercut. All right, ready? Let's go. And I can do that either. That's another good reason why they may be right, you may be wrong, but you're not going to get yourself in any more trouble by being quiet. Again, it goes, you have the right to remain silent because anything you say can and will be used, not might and maybe, the cops will say. Well, if you tell us it might help you. Yeah, right. In what world is it going to help you? No problem. If you think it's not a problem, I'm not going to argue. Just give me the ticket or give me this, give me that, you know. Let's see. I went to my girlfriend's place, or yeah, we're getting back together at the time, but she had her own apartment, and I had 2 employees that worked in the same apartment complex that she lived in, and I had dropped them off and went back home. About a half hour later, my girlfriend's calling me saying, "Hey, these guys are arguing out in the middle of the parking lot. Better get over here." She told me, "Shut up," before they get in trouble. So I was like, "Oh, jeez, all right, fine. I'm still dirty, paint on me and everything else. I drive all the way back over there, right?" And the cops are there now. and the cops were walking up to start talking to them. And I walked to my buddies and says, "You go in your house. You go in your house." And I says, I will talk to you guys later. And I turned around and I says, "Can I help you?" We got a call. These guys were causing a disturbance. Says, "Oh, they may have been arguing this and that, but it's all settled down. It's all been de-escalated. They're both going inside their house. They both promised to not talk to each other and that. And neither one of them has anything to say, and they're going to pass out now." Well, we heard that. Well, that's your problem. That's where I came up with that. Oh, that's your problem. Is that your car over there? Yeah. And I made a mistake by saying yeah. So they ran the place and found out I had a ticket that my license was suspended on, but I had the UT 46 in my wallet. Basically, it was suspended because I didn't pay a certain ticket, but I wasn't guilty because the violation I was guilty for, I wasn't guilty for. So that all came off, but I hadn't gotten to the police computers yet. But they saw that my license was suspended according to their computer. And I pulled out the UT46. He goes, "Well, that's not our problem. You were supposed to run that all the way down 50 miles away and turn that into us." No, I was not. This is logged in. This is if your computer's not behind, too bad. Well, he still gave me the ticket, right? Didn't argue. Went to court. I put it off. I went and saw the DA and told the DA, "I'm not guilty." "Well, tell me your story." "No, I'll tell the judge." I says, "You go by what the cop says, you know." So we went into court. I let them say everything they had to say. And then I went up to the judge and I says, "Your Honor, I'm not guilty because I had paid for this ticket and everything was unsuspended according to your paper 4 days ago or 4 days before he issued me the ticket." So then the judge gets mad at me because, we could have not gone through all of this if you showed that cop the paperwork. I says, "I did." You showed him?" "Yep." I says, "I got witnesses this evening." Show him. And he says he didn't care. I was supposed to take it to Canandaigua, 50 miles away, and turn it in. The cop says he did. Mr. Bennett, go sit down for a minute. He spent a half hour going up the DA, down the cop, up the cop, down the DA, right? And that was the first case up, right? I have all these other cases that they had to go up against. Now that this judge is second guessing what this DA is saying and testifying that the cops are saying it's just true. Now he's second guessing. Well, I really can't trust what you're saying now, and I left before seeing the rest of it. But man, I wish I had a camera. You know, it was like a crowd was cheering. They were sitting there giggling. Most of them, they're still chewing them out. "Mr. Redman, come up here." I go up there. We're dismissing all the charges. We're sorry for all the trouble that you went through and this and that. And if you got a good lawyer, you probably could push the issue of false arrest and everything else. And that he goes, "But that's up to you, and I'm not advising you to do that." And that's all right. He goes, "By the way, have you ever thought about becoming a lawyer?" I says, "I did, but I really like honest work." And, and Shirley laughed. So about a half a year later, I was speeding a little bit, 70 and 55, and I got pulled over. Now, I was really guilty this time. Sure enough, I didn't say a word. They gave me the ticket for speeding. I went home. Again, I pushed it and that. This time when I went up there to talk to the DA, before last time I had talked to the DA, I says, "I'm not saying nothing." This time the DA goes, "Well, what's this one about now?" I said, "Remember what happened last time?" She goes, "Yeah, it's pretty much just gonna be the same thing as that, but that's all I'm gonna say." So we went up for the judge, same judge, for a speeding ticket. "Your Honor, we're dismissing all charges. You're just gonna let that go, you know?" The judge looked at me and goes, "Honest work, really?" I said, "Yeah, I like honest work." So yeah, I could be a jerk. So again, if I'm doing this, the only problem I'm going to have is other people worrying about me. I don't want other people to worry about me. I'm going to be nice to everybody out there, but you know, stand my rights. Oh, I got a billion of them, and they're all true. They really are all true. I'm an old fart. I've been around a long time. I'm an old hippie and I don't know what to do. So, all right, we're going to cut this short, an hour and 21 minutes. I do miss the banner with somebody else on here talking back and forth with me. Maybe I'm going to figure out how to somehow get that hangout going and get. I would love to have a live stream, but if I get some others in there with me and just talking with me about bullshit, like I'd love to get Furry live with me on one screen, just like Partridge Family. Well, just yap it away. That'd be cool. Yeah. So true. So true, Lon. We just go, oh, jeez. Yeah, I knew what you meant, Lon. You know the difference between a drunk and a stoner? Well, a drunk will drive through a red light, or I'm sorry, a drunk will drive through a red stop sign. A stoner will sit there and wait for it to turn green. It's not so much the Google numbers. It does get irritating because you can talk to one person at a time and you're hearing that phone going, but the other ones are trying to call while you're talking to somebody. But what Google Hangouts is you can have, I think it's actually 12 people all in here at the same time. Now, if I stop talking and say Furry was in here at the same time, Furry's picture would talk up. Yeah, all right. And we'd all hear each other at the same time. And if Furry's quiet, then Monkey or James or Cyber. The thing is, the more people you get in here, a lot of people like to overtalk. So you have one person that runs it from here and is able to switch back and forth to the people manually to who actually has the conversation. And also the chat comes through on Yacht or YouTube at the same time. It used to. Now it doesn't. So you actually, well, I might have to figure out a new platform because I don't think the Hangouts does that anymore. I would probably have to try to mirror it live onto a YouTube channel from, it's too late in the morning to think about this, from the Hangout. But so 1 hour and 24 minutes. We're going to 6 more minutes and then I'm going to go, the Skype sucks. Skype really sucks. And then you'd have to get everybody to get Skype too. Where the Hangouts, all I got to do is have Google Chrome. It's just an add-on. Zoom meeting? I've been watching PMP, but I haven't seen him at any multi-meeting yet. I'll have to check. Zoom meetings, you say? Oh, by the way, I'm also really good at following chat because I used to run so many chat rooms for Yahoo back in the day. Have to watch for trolls. Had to watch for bots, hackers, crackers. Again, friendship, best advice: don't stress the little stuff. Take care of yourself. And meditate. Learn meditation. That helps. I'm sorry, Furry missed this one. It would have been a good one. Now, does anybody got questions on why I use my bullet voice when I'm auditing this voice here? See, I know you guys are more comfortable, so it's easier to use this voice when I talk to you now that I'm more comfortable here. When I'm out there with fresh people, it's easier to keep a conversation going with Bullet because he's in character. And he doesn't have to think as much as I do about what I'm saying. He don't give a shit. He can say whatever he wants. If he wants to say fuck it, he'll say fuck it. You know, or I'll say great googly boogly. That's one of my favorite words right there. Great googly boogly. He'll say that all the time. And he'll learn you. Mm-hmm. So when you get into characters, a lot easier. You're not really yourself. It's more relaxing to talk that way. Yeah, at least it's for me, especially when I get out in front of like 700, 1,000 people tap dancing and singing and saying a line or whatever else it is I have to do. And sitting there smiling and acting like this is normal. What it is, it's anything but normal being up there in front of a whole bunch of people. Oh, hold on. Be right back. I think I heard a stirring. Yep, good hearing. Could even hear things through the headphones. Well, I'm going to have to get going here, folks. So, y'all have fun, and I will see you next time. And I'm going to try to schedule it so you all hopefully see it in the feed, in the subscription that I have something coming up at a certain time. So, this way, I'm not just the last couple of days I've been. All right, everybody, take it easy. We will see y'all later. See you.